Let me tell you a short story. Many years back, I was very desperate to travel. I mean, to travel out of the country, to relocate out of the country. I'm talking about many, many years back. I had just finished secondary school then. I schooled in Port Harcourt. So I came back to Lagos, where I was actually born. And I wanted to further my education. So on getting to Lagos, instead of me to think of how to further my education like my mates were doing, my mates were already writing JAMB, they were already, doing things to, help their ministry. I was really thinking of how to travel. That was all I had in mind, how to leave the country, how to travel, anywhere apart from Nigeria, just to go. And then I was very young. I'm talking about 19. What would make someone at that age be so desperate to travel? And then because I was so desperate to travel, I fell into the hands of a travel agent. This travel agent had an office very close to our house then. He kind of met me on the road. And as if he knew what was in my mind, as if he knew my heart's desire was just to travel. He approached me and was talking to me, what do you do? As at that time, I was into modeling. I had just started my modeling career. So I told him I was a model. He said, that's fine. That how would I like to model outside the country, that he can actually showcase me to the world, that being a model in Nigeria does not pay much, but if I can take my career outside the country, that would be nice and all blah, blah, blah. He said so many things. Mind you, I was just 19. Of course, I was naive. And then I fell for everything he said. So he said he was going to take me to South Africa. I remember that day. And I've always known that South Africa is one of the hotbeds for modeling in the world. It's one of the very big places where you can do your modeling career and you will blow. So I fell for it. So this guy told me, all I needed to do was just to get my international passport. He was going to sort the rest out. That, where I'm going to stay when I get to South Africa won't be a problem. What I'm going to do, that all I needed to do was just get my passport and I leave. And then I left his office that day because I had gone to the office also to see him that on the second appointment. Sorry, I forgot to mention this. I left his office, I went home and I was just so excited. I was so happy, preparing I was going to travel outside Nigeria. After a while, I went to see someone. I went to see my pastor back then. Now, my pastor back then wasn't just a pastor. I took him more of a father figure. He was like a father to all of the family. He was very close to us. We're very close to his family as well. So I went to say to him and I said, Daddy, see the opportunity I've just got. And I'll be traveling. I was so excited. Me, 19 back then. Why wouldn't you be at that age? And he looked at it and was like, let me think about it. I should give him time and I should come back at a later date. He was going to talk to me. I said, okay, fine. So I left. On the day I was to get back there, I went there and he said, my daughter, I'm not very convinced about this, your trip. Honestly, it doesn't sound to me like a good idea, and it just sounds too good to be true. How would someone just want to do everything like that for you? All he's asking is just get your passport and you go. That he's not saying miracles do not happen, no, but that this particular one feels there's something fishy about it. And then secondly, that the location, he hammered on this 3 to 4 times. The location where this person is trying to take me to, he doesn't feel too comfortable about it. I should be very, very careful. So when he said it, my spirit went down immediately. I felt so bad. I felt like he was trying to discourage me. I felt discouraged anyway. So he noticed my facial appearance. He knew my countenance had changed. And then just because he wanted to make me happy, he didn't want me to feel like, okay, I've made you angry. He was like, okay, anyway, I wish you all the best in whatever you do and all of that. Always keep in touch. We're going to keep you in prayers and all that. And then when I was leaving his office, he gave me $100. I remember very well that time. $100 was 14,000 naira. That was a lot of money to me. So he gave me $100 to support my trip, like a pocket money in case I needed to buy anything and all that. So when I left there, I went home. And somehow, just the way, let me use the word, the Holy Spirit. I believe it was the Holy Spirit that touched me that day. Somehow I sat down and I began to reflect on all of this. And I was like, this actually sounds too good to be true. You don't just see someone and you want to do everything. I'm not saying it doesn't happen, like my pastor said, but something was fishy. And you know what actually confirmed to me that there is something else behind this? Now, this travel agent kept calling me day and night. Like, now I'm the one that wants this favor. I should be the one calling you. I should be the one disturbing you. I should be the one reminding you of the trip, of your promise, of the help you want to render to me, not necessarily you doing that, because he was always calling like, are you ready? Are you okay? Don't worry, you will enjoy the trip, you will enjoy the whole thing. He was always calling me, and I was like, I'm becoming uncomfortable with this. So who needs this help now? Is it not me? Like, what do you stand to gain from this? I believe I'm the one who actually stands to gain more, so I should be the one pestering you, not the other way around. Now, that was a red flag. So immediately he called, and I was like, I don't feel too comfortable about this. So I went to his office one day and I said to him, you know what, sir, I'm not too sure I want to continue with this. I don't feel too good about it. Can I please have my passport? And he looked at me in a very, very mean way. And he said, why? I said, well, because I just feel like I need to like further my education. There are things I need to do that I haven't done. And I don't think just traveling right now is the best idea. And he said, is that what you want? And this man just reached into his wardrobe, his office table, the chest drawer, whatever there, brought out my passport and flung it at me. Like, he literally threw the thing on my face and said, okay, bye. And I took my passport from the floor. While I was walking out, the next thing he said is, an opportunity other young girls would rush. That was what you just threw away. I just picked my passport, opened the door, and walked away. You know what? Today, I am very happy I did not embark on that journey. Because many years later, I got to discover that office was raided by the anti-human trafficking, whatever in Nigeria. That same office was raided, and I'm sure the man must have been arrested. So if that was what happened, if those people raided that office, if that particular office, the anti-human whatever, went to that office, then that means that was what he was into. And that also could mean that was what he was taking me there for. My short message is, no matter how desperate you are to travel, be very careful. I see videos of a lot of young ladies in all these Arab countries working as maids and all of that. And I see how some of them are treated. I see how badly treated a lot of them are. I can bet you that most of them did not know they were going to face that kind of treatment there. I'm sure when they were back home, they used all manner of sweet mouths. They of course, they lure you now. When someone is luring you, they don't use forceful words or aggressive words to talk to you. They talk to you in a tone that is very convincing. Somebody must have convinced them that they were going there to do some office job, to work in the salons, to work in the restaurants, things like that, only for you to get there and you're working as a maid. And not just working as a maid, you have to get your passport seized from you. My dear, you see this traveling of a thing, before you jackpot, you should be extremely careful. Not all that seems rosy is actually rosy.